Alright, let's head over to the Abbey. Maybe we can go in now. Well, that was... I don't know. I did learn more about the founding of Kearsarge. And that illustration from the manuscript, the Mithraeum, it was like the one in the mine. Is it part of the history of the Abbey? Of Tassing? It must be written down somewhere. If only the library hadn't burned down with everything in it. The ruins are right there. Maybe not everything was destroyed. Yeah, let's go check it out. So we can go just directly into the church. Oh. My God, this is amazing. I wonder what it must have looked like before the fire. Everything collapsed in the fire. I'll have to be careful climbing over this rubble to get past. Oh shit! Oh, jeez. Oh no, I can't get back up there. If I climb, it might collapse further. I'll have to find another way out. Okay. We'll climb some vines. This is sketchy. There's nothing left of the old staircase. I guess I can't go this way. These vines do go all the way to the top, though. They look sturdy enough to hold my weight. Well, there's no other way out. Oh, that's gonna be a nice view. I can see all of Tassing from here. I wonder if I can piece together the foundations of the Abbey and find a way to get to the library. I bet I could get down this way. The roof looks pretty stable. Really? She looked at that roof and said it looked pretty stable? There's no way I would have felt safe doing that. It's like, oh, cool. Oh, God. I remember when the library burned down. Dad told me I was just a baby, but I remember the flames coming out of the windows. So many people were screaming and running around. I cried myself to sleep that night. I haven't seen this place since then. It doesn't look like there's anything left inside. I suppose it was too much to hope for. Well, Magdalene, how are you going to get out of here? What What's this? Flowers. These roses seem to have made the abbey their home. I'm glad something beautiful is still growing here. Okay, got some roses over this way too. These roses seem to have made the abbey their home. I'm glad something beautiful is still growing here. Oh, we can't go south. Alright. Oh, there's cats here. I wonder if were always this many cats at the abbey. Perhaps I can ask Wolfslav what he remembers during his time here. We'll pet the cat. It's a wild cat. Probably a bad idea, but it seems friendly, I guess. This place is a mess. How sad. Okay, so we can go out this door. Oh, maybe we can't. The door's stuck. I can't get through this way. Oh, go through the chapter house. Oh, yes, this is information, isn't it? Oh, an old mural. It's worn, but I can still see some of the figures. What is going on here? Somebody's drawn over the mural. I swear it didn't have these sorts of pictures before. A dance of death? What is going on? Somebody's really messed with this. What? These figures look new. The paint can't be more than a few years old. Whoa, so somebody's been going to the convent, stealing paint, and painting over this mural? They're really screwing around with things. Like, what the heck is that goat on the left here? Someone's been adding to this. This feels wrong. Who would add new figures to the Dance of Death? And why? Is this... This is a depiction of what we found so far. I don't know what's on the left. Is that the Baron on the left? But then this is Prior Ferenc, and he is like his whole necromancy thing. And then orange on a tree. I can't think of what that is. But then this is Brother Guy and his stealing the money, I guess. And then they died in a fire. These people, like, these look like people from the town, from here. From here, people who died. That must be the Baron. And that's Otto. Oh, that's Otto down there, I see. Wait, is that... Oh, crap. Someone's here. Hello? Who are you? Oh, jeez. Do we go this way? Magdalene is brave. If it were me, I'd be running in the other direction. The door! Whoever was watching me must have opened it. I don't like this. Yeah, I don't either. I think I've seen everything left of the Abbey. I want to get out of here. You say that, but I kind of want to go back in. I'm going back in. Okay, there's nothing else. That's creepy. Snowing already? The almanac said it shouldn't start for another week, at least. I think we're in for a hard winter. Okay, well, let's head back to town. Hang on. Okay, never mind. I just had a feeling that maybe whoever was sneaking around was maybe hiding out in the guest house. We could see if it was unlocked for some reason. Can we go to the mill now? Let's go talk to Elsa. Here's Andreas and Paul. We'll go into the Mueller house. Hello, Elsa. Magdalene, dear, what brings you up the hill? Dad was telling me your family's been in Tassing for hundreds of years. Is this for the mural? I'm not sure I want to get mixed up in that. I won't depict your family specifically if that helps. You're one of the few people who knows anything about the town after the Romans left. The Muellers have been a pillar of Tassings for generations, yes. Though I'm afraid I only know a little bit about them. And much of that I've heard from others. Lenhart didn't care to talk about the past. I meant your family, the one you were born to. Your family name was Caviezel. Caviezel, wasn't it? Oh. Not a soul in town has asked me about my family in years. I was beginning to think my neighbors had forgotten us. I am not surprised your father remembers the Caviezels. He was a sweet on my sister before he met your mother. Oh, I am the last of us left now. You say it's Caviezel, not Caviezelin? I have always been called Caviezel, as were my sisters and mother, and her mother before. My grandfather told me the Caviezels have lived in this area for hundreds of years. If each of the mothers was called Caviezel, then how does that work? I guess they didn't take the name, or they did. Yeah, it's a little weird. Perhaps even 1,000, though it seems impossible to imagine a time so long ago. Well, yeah, I think we already knew that beforehand, right? Like before the abbey was formed and all. The Caviezels were pagans? Yes, the original Bavarian people, here even before the Romans. My grandfather said his grandfather told him the Caviezels resettled the town after the Romans left. Built their new home right on the spot where they had been living when the Romans arrived. Oh, I'm not... Come on. Yeah, it's all going to be hearsay. I'm not going to question that. Interesting. Doesn't that seem unlikely to you? Oh, who can say? Why does a story need to be true? However true it may or may not be doesn't matter, Magda. It matters that I believe it, that it connects me to my ancestors. When I think of the ancient Caviezels driven from their land, only to find it again and become Christians, they feel nearer to me. Do you understand? I think so. It's like when my dad tells me stories about courting my mom. I don't remember her face, but when he tells me about her smile, I can almost recall it. Yes, it doesn't matter whether you really remember. When I sing my sister's favorite songs to Ulrich, I may not know all the words anymore, but that's all right. Just as I may not know exactly how the Caviezels resettled Tassing. What matters is that I feel close to her, and them, even though they are so far from me now. That is what stories are for, Magda. Now go. You've got a mural to complete. Thank you, Elsa. You've given me much to consider. God bless you, Magdalene dear. Alright. I noticed that Ulrich and Andreas have different hair color. Just pointing it out. Alright. Do we have time to talk to Father Thomas? Does this labyrinth have any meaning to Magdalene? Mary, Mother of Jesus. Her painting has been here as long as I can remember. Okay. God bless you, Magdalene. And God bless you, Father Thomas. Do you have a moment? Of course. What can I help you with? I wanted to ask you about Tassing's saints. I'd like to represent them in the Rathaus. I'm thrilled to hear it. The saints will make a wonderful centerpiece for the murals. No, not as a centerpiece, simply as a part of Tassing's history. Of course. I consider our saints to be central to Tassing's history, Kearsaw's too. But you know there is one saint you're overlooking. The game is telling me to contemplate this. I know if I just tap this. I want to think this through before I get Magdalene to tell us the answer. I mean, I just know St. Moritz and St. Saskia because those are the ones that have been mentioned, right? I don't know, maybe it's one of those two. We'll contemplate this. Why, the Blessed Virgin, of course. Mary! Oh, okay. Many people forget that Mary is the greatest saint. And she visited one of the peasants here in Tassing centuries ago. The Virgin Mary appeared in Tassing? Why? Yes, she appeared to give a message. Centuries ago, a farmer in the fields behind us had 3 visions of Mary. In the first, she told him that she wanted to tell the Bishop of Freising that she had appeared. The peasant traveled down to Freising, but the bishop would not see or hear him. That seems like a reasonable response, all things considered. Perhaps, but blessed are those who believe but have not seen. But sadly, the bishop did not believe. The peasant returned to Tassing and had another vision in the field. The Virgin showed him a pattern, a labyrinth. She told him to draw it on a sheet of birch bark and bring the drawing to the Bishop of Freising. Yeah, why didn't she just give him the labyrinth the first time? The bishop attempted to turn the peasant away, but he could see the drawing of the labyrinth in his hand. It was the same image that the bishop had seen in a dream 3 nights earlier. Oh, this is interesting. He met with the peasant, who told him of 2 apparitions he had seen here in Tassing. The bishop was moved by the peasant's story and he came here to Tassing. I'll keep listening. And when the bishop came, Mary appeared to both of them. She told the farmer that the town needed to build this church. She told the bishop to support the town. I had no idea that's where all this came. Actually, no, we'll keep listening. And so the bishop helped fund the creation of this church. The people of Tassing have been using it ever since. I probably heard it from he probably heard it from previous priest or someone else. When was the painting made? Which, hold on. Like the painting that's on the centerpiece, I guess? sure, let's ask that. When was the painting made? I'm not sure. Maybe 100 years ago, maybe 300. And of course, I couldn't tell you the artist, unfortunately. But it's been here as long as anyone can remember. Thank you for the story, Father Thomas. Have I convinced you to include the saint prominently in the mural? I'm still considering it. Well, if deliberation fails you, perhaps you will find that prayer gives you greater clarity. God bless you and your work, Magdalene. God bless you, Father Thomas. I should get back to the Rathaus and get to work. Alright. This guy's been working on that rock for a long time. Hey, Apollo. What are you doing here? Let's ask him. Oh, I'm having troubles. Hey, Magdalene. Alright. Not much. Carl? Oh, yeah. He had his walk around the place and stuff. Well, let's talk to him now. Seems to be a nice guy. Good day, Mistress Duckrin. Alright. We'll work on the mural. Good evening, Magdalene. Good evening, Dr. Stoltz. I see you're progressing on the town mural. You've made rapid progress. Have I really? It's been months, right? Okay. Well, I've rigged the scaffolding sheets so that enough air can flow through. That way the layers dry quickly. I see. That's quite clever. Now then, the council has asked to hear about your progress. I've been researching the early Christian history of Tassing after the Romans left. Learning how people settled in the ruins, how the abbey was founded, why our saints are so important to us. It was a lot to take in, but I've settled on my subject. And what have you chosen, if I may ask? What if I were like, I guess this is kind of a middle ground. It'd be nice if she just sort of flowed multiple pictures together, right? But, yeah. I'm not going to put the saints as the sole focus of this mural. Lady Kirsoff founding the abbey from the old Bergfried. I'll paint the Bavarians settling among the Roman ruins, starting the Christian history of Tassing. Like, I feel like these things... Like, you could... If I were doing the mural, I'm just sort of picturing it now. I would have the saints kind of at the top portion of the picture, overlooking these bottom two events happening. Right? Like, you don't have to have just one thing on the mural. Because it was the Bavarians... If I remember correctly, the Bavarians settled the ruins and built a castle, and then the castle burned down and stuff like, or the castle, whatever, something happened to the castle, and then they founded the abbey from that castle. So it's just like this event happened, and then this event happened. It's not like it was one or the other. So you could do them both on the same mural. Oh well. We'll say which of these? We'll say this. I think this is the middle ground between what actually happened and you know, the spiritual side of things. I'll paint the Bavarians settling among the Roman ruins, starting with the Christian history of Tassing. You may find that ignoring the saints in favor of such a mundane portrayal of events is unwelcome. Even so, I suppose it is an important step in the history of Tassing. Remember, the mural isn't for your benefit, but to make Tassing look good. I remember. Very well. After this section, there's still so much work to do. I haven't even figured out how I'm going to portray the revolt. Ah, yes. I imagine it poses difficulties that the other murals do not. It's a strange thing to tell the story that still lives in the hearts of so many people here. I don't think anyone wants to talk about it. They've all just locked it away. It sounds like you have your work cut out for you. I'll leave you to it then. Oh, Dr. Stoltz? Yes? Have you ever seen someone lurking around the Abbey? Or heard about it? I haven't been up to the Abbey in years, and no, I haven't heard of anything like that. Why? I've seen someone following me a few times. I'm sorry to hear that. Didn't you run into that odious woodsman Holler Brant not too long ago? Who the heck is Holler Brant? I don't remember him. I have no idea who Holler Brant is. I'm gonna go with this. If this is an option, then Magdalene must feel this. Yes, but I don't think it's the same person. Well, if you have concerns, you should ask one of the boys to escort you when you're out. There's no need to risk your safety. You're right. Good night, Dr. Stoltz. Good night, Magdalene. Could you please escort me back to my home? Now I only have the final part of the mural to finish. How should I paint the revolt? Dad always talked about how the Archdeacon was the only one seeking justice in those days. Who was the Archdeacon? But what was his name? The only name I can remember is the name of the Archdeacon who came to Tassing when that Baron was killed. Jacob Essler. Maybe he wrote an account of the revolt as an Archdeacon. I'll write to him and ask. And of course I need to write back to Esther too. I'll write to them tonight before bed. Alright, where to begin? I'll write to the Archdeacon, Jacob Essler, and see if he can tell me about the revolt. I'll write a letter to... We just said this. I'll write a letter to Esther too. I hope the courier can make it through the passes before winter. Jacob Esther, formerly Archdeacon of Racing. My name is Magdalene Druckgren. I am an artist in the town of Tassing in Upper Bavaria. I believe you passed through our community when you investigated Baron Rothvogel's murder at Kearsarge Abbey in 1518. Do you remember anything about that case that the people in Tassing might not remember? What? He's got to guess what people in Tassing would remember or not? And then what? Oh, do you have any reason to doubt the conclusion of the case? That's interesting. Did you see any evidence that might suggest that there was some sort of larger conspiracy at work? Do you remember anything about someone writing notes to provoke the killer? Sounds like Magdalene already knows about the notes. So why would she... To confirm whether it's true or not? No, I feel... These are the two interesting questions. Do you have any reason to doubt the conclusion of the case? I feel this question requires that Magdalene already suspects there was a larger conspiracy. I don't think we've had anything that would actually indicate that was the case. From Magdalene's point of view, there was a murder of a baron, and then 7 years later, there was a fire at the abbey when the peasants revolted. And that's that. Like, Andreas clearly would have thought there was a conspiracy, because Andreas was finding these notes. But I don't think Magdalene... I don't even know that Magdalene knows about the notes. Hey, there's a piece of paper on the bed. Is that important? I think this is the more likely question that would come to our mind, even though it's the least useful one in terms of what I, the player, care about. Do you have any reason to doubt the conclusion of the case? I mean no disrespect. I only ask in case it might help us understand our recent past. Thank you for any help you can give. Magdalene Druckren. Really? Why couldn't I just write all 3 questions on the page? Whatever. Dearest Esther, I hope you are well. You must know how tremendously happy I am for you and Sigmund. And Alicia too, of course, and your parents. It warms my heart to know that your family is doing so well. By the time this letter reaches you, I expect winter will have enfolded Tassing. It's already freezing at night, so I've reorganized the workshop so that the inks don't deteriorate. Do you have to worry about that in Prague? You said it snows, but I always imagined it was warmer in winter. Dad is doing poorly, but at least he seems comfortable. He's sleeping more, but Dr. Stoltz says that's a consequence of the colder weather. I do what I can for him, but this winter has been hard. I've asked Agnes for help, but there's only so much she and Dr. Stoltz can do. He's not going to make it, and there's nothing I can do. Christ, I'm scared, Esther. The mural is progressing well, but I can't shake the feeling that someone is following me. I keep seeing this figure around town. After I explored the mines to see Tassing's early history, and then again in the Abbey ruins. And they tried to murder you. Okay. Magdalene has some intuition that I, the player, do not. Whoever it is, I'm sure it's not anyone from Tassing, but what do they want with me? It's the strangest thing, given me a fright a few times. But I don't mean to worry you. Nothing's happened to me yet, so I think I'll be safe. Wow. The only good news I can share at the moment is that the mural is almost finished. Hang on, nothing's happened to me yet. The person nearly killed you in the mine. They tried to drop some rocks on you. I should have it completed by Christmas or soon after, before the New Year at least. Then, perhaps at long last, I shall be able to visit you and meet the Simond. Is it Simond? No, Simond, I think. Anyway, I fear that this will be my last letter of the year. The Reichspost has already been late and reported worsening snows through the passes. We seem to be stepping into a harsh winter. Stay warm and give my regards to your family and Simond. Yours always, Magda. Yep. Okay, well I guess it's a good time to go to bed then. How did this get here? Ah, it was important. Oh no. Stop. This is just like the note Dad found. Who's doing this? I have a feeling I'm going to find out sooner or later. I need to ask Dad about this. It can't be a coincidence. But he's so weak. I don't want to upset him. I just need to wait for the right time. I hope there is a right time. Can I just ask him now? It's not going to get better. We need info stat. Hello, Magdalene. Oh. Good night, Dad. Hang on, let's like check the corner, make sure there's no one hiding here. Oh, what's this? I'll clean it up later. The mural is more important. Why not clean it up now? We're not doing the mural. We're going to sleep. Alright. Bedtime for Magdalene. It's late. I should get some rest soon. Mistress Druckerin, only one letter for you today. The pass is nigh impossible to traverse, and the heavy snow is hard on the horse and me. Anyway, happy Advent, my dear. Thank you. The same to you. Ah, a reply from Jacob Esther. Mistress Druckerin, I do recall the Rothvogel case, though it has been over a decade since I served as an archdeacon. I am no longer associated with the office of the Prince Bishop. In fact, I am no longer associated with the Catholic Church. If you do not mind conversing with a Lutheran, I will tell you what I remember. I take no offense at your question regarding potential doubts in the case of the Baron's murder. To stand in judgment of others for so many years naturally invites doubt. As with our faith, we must learn to live with those doubts and persevere in spite of them. Even so, it seems that the more relevant question after so many years is if the architect of the murder is still at large. I recall that the artist who testified, Andreas Mahler, believed someone was manipulating the would-be killers. If this is the case, a serpent has lain coiled in the bosom of your community for decades. It may lay there still. What causes this serpent to awaken every few years to stage a new killing? I fear that finding the answer to that question may draw you into its reach. However, if you are determined to find the source of the trouble, I believe you must inquire with your neighbors. I urge caution in your investigation into this matter. If the serpent merely sleeps, it may be dangerous to poke into its old resting places. I hope this has been of some help to you. May God bless you and keep you safe. Jacob Essler. No reply from Esther this time. It must have been delayed due to the heavy snow. The postman said I won't receive any more letters until spring. I'd better get back to the Rath House then. Still more work to be done. Good morning, Dad. I finally caught up on the mural, and now I can start the final part today. I promise I'll get it done. Magdalene, I'm proud of you. Thanks, Dad. I'm sorry Dr. Stoltz said you can't come to the festivities tonight. I know how much you love the Persian loaf. There's always next year. Right. How are you feeling? Dr. Stoltz said he would come by again today. Fine, fine. I'm fine. Maybe I should stay home with you today. No, Magdalene. If you want to work, you should work. It's all right. In fact, my spirits are lifted today. It's Christmas Eve, after all. Of course. What's wrong? Dad, I found a note back in November. A note? What do you mean? It was like the note I found in your plans for the murals. Just a scrap of parchment. It looked like it came out of an old manuscript. Elaborate writing, purple ink. It just said, stop. Do you know where they came from? Who wrote them? Magdalene, Oh God, that must be Otts. He said he dropped by with more firewood. If you know something, I'd like you to tell me, alright? I know, I will. Can we talk about it later? Dad. I'll tell you, I promise. Alright. I'll be back later. Good. Take care of yourself out there. Well, this is certainly foreboding that he wants to tell us later. Whenever someone says something like that in films, it means they're going to die. Hang on, there's a knock at the door, right? Do we have to go outside? I guess so. Ah, here we go. Morning, Magdalene. Yeah, sure. We're smarty. Morning. I told you the almanac was right, didn't I? The moon forecasted a cold winter this year. Ugh, fine. You were right. It's a good thing you paid attention to it, too. Saved me a lot of trouble finishing work early. Anyway, here. I brought some firewood for you and your dad. Thank you, Otts. You're welcome. So, how is your dad? You think he can join everyone for Christmas Mass? I think he'll stay in bed tonight. I'll do my best to be there. I need to keep working on the mural, though. I'm working on the final section. About the peasants' revolt, right? It feels weird to talk about. It affected Tassing so much, but we were just kids. I can't remember what happened since I was just a baby. I never even knew my dad. That's what makes it difficult. I need to ask those who were already adults that night, but don't want to touch raw nerves. What if you spoke to people while everyone was preparing for the Christmas festivities? Clara sometimes talks about that night. Mom too. You might be able to ask them. Oh yeah, I guess he's Clara's grandson. Grandson and, like step-grandson, I guess. Because Clara was her stepdaughter. Wolslav and Matilda are the only two Benedictines left living in Tassing. Maybe they'll talk to me. Huh, I didn't think of that. Still, the mural is for Tassing, not the old abbey. Agnes has always been in Tassing, right? I'd go to her if I were you. Dad said she helped bury everyone who died that night. I wonder if she'd talk about it. It's your project, Magdalene. Might be worth a try. I wrote to the old archdeacon about it too. He thinks that the Baron's murder and Otto's death are connected to the revolt. The who? It doesn't matter. What if all the deaths in Tassing are connected? I don't see how the old Baron has anything to do with the revolt. Are you feeling all right? I think you're looking for connections that aren't there. Maybe this mural project is getting to you. There's very definitely someone following me. It's not a feeling. Ugh, you're useless. Whatever. I'm just trying to look out for you. I'll figure it out somehow. Thanks for the wood. See you later, Megs. Ugh. Otts is right. I should start talking to people around town. I'd better get started if I want to talk to everyone before the Persianlof. Alright, so we could talk to Wolslav and Matilda. I do think it would be very useful to talk to Clara, seeing as it was her husband that essentially started the actual revolt. I know Otto is the one to sort of put things in motion, but Peter's the one who followed through with the violence.